I love her name, but I'm not finna tear it up, okay? But I want to give y'all our next guest, and Dave, you can bring her on as I read her email. Perfect. I am a huge advocate for, welcome back to Real News with Lucretia Hughes, for victims' right and Second Amendment rights. Give you a brief synopsis. I had a sister that was shot and killed when she was 15 by a boyfriend. I used to hate guns. You ain't by yourself. And I myself became a victim survivor of violent crime when an ex-boyfriend stabbed you more than 20 times. Woo, child. Beat me, strangled me, and SA'd me, raped me twice. Now he's serving life in prison. Thank God. I used to hate guns because of what happened to my sister, but now you can bet that we have guns in our house, and I am prepared to protect my family. I am a victim support partner for the state of Georgia, and I help with training, victims advocacy, prison wardens, and anyone in the criminal legal system, giving them the perspective from a victim's view, a survivor, a warrior, a fighter. I have been asked to come to Baltimore, Maryland, and Connecticut and Maine to share my story and to help educate others. You need to be in front of Congress. This is where you need to be. Now, before say your name, and then because I don't want to tear it up, I want to give you all due respect. You're not a victim. You're a survivor. So say your name properly for us. Dave, you got a volume on?
Yeah, I get Balenciaga, Bellagio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't want to call you Balenciaga because we know what they stand for.
No, it's actually Belgicia.
Belgicia Howell.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell your
Cowart.
name.
Yes.
How you doing, B? I mean, cause I ain't finna disrespect your name, and it's Belgicia. Belgicia. Yeah. How your parents come up with
Belgicia,
that?
yes.
Okay, what's
Yes.
the history of your name? What does that mean? Cause that is very unique. Where did it come from?
Well, uh, I usually tell people, but anyway, I make a joke about it. I'm actually named after my godmother. She's from Panama,
Hmm.
but the name has a Greek origin. So that little piece of land over there, and a lot of people, and there's that little piece of land over there that when Caesar was taking over the Roman Empire,
Yes.
that is now Belgium, translates to my name.
Ah, Belgicia. I like that. Well, now you can say you are the princess of Belgium.
Yeah.
Being an advocate, being an
I'll take it. I'll take it.
advocate for the Second Amendment, it had to be more for you to get out there and tell your story. And being stabbed more than 20 times, that gave you a fierce power. Did you have to testify against your ex-boyfriend when you had to go to court?
So we ended up doing a plea bargain with him, which was, he got life in the state of Georgia. It's almost impossible to prove attempted murder, even though that's exactly what he did.
Right.
I mean, he literally stabbed me 20 times. You can see the scar right here where he slit my throat, my esophagus. They're just everywhere. In my neck, my chest, my back, my legs, my head. He tried to kill me. And he also had a gun, and he told me that he was going to kill himself after he had killed me so that we could be together in heaven. Anyway, it took me a long time to get to the point where I am now, but no, we did not have to, I didn't have to testify, in court. We did a plea with him, and he did get a life sentence. And in the state of Georgia, with a life sentence, you can actually, you can get a life sentence not because he just stabbed me, but because he raped me. So, had he just stabbed me, he would have probably already been out. I know that sounds horrible, but
Okay, if he would only just sexual
sorry, there's
assaulted
a lot of
you,
feedback.
don't worry about it.
What'd you ask?
If he would have only sexual assaulted you, you would have been out of jail by now. He's still been a menace. But because he decided to pick up the knife and stab you more than 20 times, that is why he's gonna do life in prison.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, yeah, but had he have just only stabbed me and not sexually assaulted me, he would be out already also, But because there was a sexual assault along with an aggravated crime, that's what gave him life. So I feel like there's some things that could possibly be worked on, and I'm definitely, out there trying to put my face in it. But I will give a lot of credit to the Georgia Office of Victim Services because they do a lot to try and help educate survivors. And I am not a victim anymore. It's going to be upside down, but I have a tattoo that says warrior on it.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the I is a semicolon. I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and so my sister and I got these together back in 2015. So yeah.
Well, you are a
but
survivor.
I love everything that you're doing for gun rights, and I love people that are passionate about it, and they really, they're not doing it because they want the propaganda or the notoriety. They're doing it from the heart, and that's why I tell people all the time, I am a walking advertisement for the NRA because I didn't like guns. I mean, my sister was shot and killed by her boyfriend because she'd broken up with him, and he shot her in the head and killed her with a shotgun.
Okay. Well,
and
wow.
I hated guns.
Wait a minute. Wait. Your sister was murdered by her boyfriend only because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Is he in prison now?
Correct.
Is he in prison?
No, he never did any time. He said that he didn't know the gun was loaded, and this was back in the 1977. And he was a teenage boy also. He said he didn't know the gun was loaded. He was cleaning his gun, and that's how it went off, which I don't believe. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. You can't clean a shotgun and not know it's loaded. But anyway, I was young, and I don't know that I've gotten all the details on it, but he never did a day. He passed the lie detector test, and so he never did a day in jail, ever. Yeah. So, but I used to be, the word ignorant is not a bad word. It just means you're uneducated. And I used to hate guns because of what happened to my sister. And I later learned it's not the guns, and I'm a veteran myself also. So, I mean, I use guns in the military and whatnot, but I didn't like the idea of just people being able to have access to them. But my whole view has changed. And not just because, and after I show you this, you're going to be like, there's no way this girl is telling the truth, but after my attack, many years later, I got married, and my husband and I had built our dream home in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and we had a home invasion, and these men came in with shotguns and held it to our heads and zip-tied us and robbed us with our kids there, and our kids were involved, the whole thing. That very next day, we went and bought guns, and that's when my whole view changed. I said, never again is anybody going to ever threaten me or make me feel like I can't protect myself. And so, I understand there's got to be education when people get
right.
guns. You got to be educated and be responsible owners. And if you're not a responsible owner, you should be held accountable.
Absolutely. But you still, just like Kennesaw, in Georgia, we have constitution to carry now. I feel like because of the police lag time and before they even get there to your house, even before they kick your door in, you should be able to protect your life, because I always say our doors are locked for y'all protection, not ours on the inside, because you never know what's behind the closed doors.
That's right.
So when you got your gun, because you're never going to be a victim again, and I don't think anybody should be a victim, what made you start really getting out there and advocate not only for the Second Amendment, but for victims' rights and advocacy?
Well, I mean, if we're going to be completely honest about it, it was something that I wanted to do, but that was a lot that I went through, and I was always so strong and so brave, and I never got any therapy or treatment for it, so I struggled for a long time, and finally, I have 4 children, and I finally just looked at them. I was like, I want to make the world a better place for my kids, and everything was going like when I started raising my 2 oldest. I have a 23-year-old, a 19-year-old, and then a 12-year-old and an almost 8-year-old. And it is completely different raising my 12-year-old and my 8-year-old than it was raising my 23-year-old and 19-year-old. It's a different world, and I don't.
What happened, Dave? I don't know. Well, just bring me back on. It wasn't us. It was not us. She might have dropped. You got to realize when they do that, you on the mercy of Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
So
if she comes back in,
you bring her in.
I'll bring her right back
but,
in.
But she's coming right back in. When they do that, it's just Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi, and I'm glad y'all are still in, because I really want to finish her life. Just bring her back in.
I'm back. Sorry,
No.
I don't know what happened.
No
I'm
problems.
out. My daughter has her chorus concert today, so I'm at the school. I apologize for being in my car.
Well, if you at a school, they probably scrambling your signal anyway, because they tired of kids being on their cell phones.
Yeah, probably right, but yeah. Anyway, I lost track of what I was saying.
You got,
but yeah, it's just different raising kids now than it was, you know, even 20 years ago. It's just a whole different world. So I just decided that, and I went to the Georgia Office of Victim Services was doing a Victim Visitor Day, and I went to that, and I was able to talk to them and share my story, and then they opened the case, and there was a member from the parole board that would be there so that you could talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I said, you know, I want to do this. I really want to get involved in this. And then I got involved, and I did this program called the VOD, which is a Victim Offender Dialogue, where usually it's family members where someone has been murdered,
mm-hmm.
can go into the prison, and they go through this whole program. And it could take 6 to 9 months, but they go through the VOD program, and then they can go into the prison and sit down and have a conversation with their offender, the person that murdered their family member or that caused harm to them. And that was very impactful to me. And I decided right then and there that, you know, and whenever I share my story with people, they're just like, a lot of people tell me, you know, they can never share what's happened to them, and they feel like I'm kind of like, sometimes they feel like I'm a voice for them, you know, because some people aren't as vocal as me. I'll talk to anybody and everybody, right. But I just feel like I have a duty to share my story and bring awareness to these things and to help others. And I want to give, you know, I have a wonderful life, and I want to give.
She's at the school, y'all. Her story, Dave, her story. You know what? I think her story actually might be a Lifetime movie, because she has been through it all. But for her to go after getting a home invasion, myself, that would be the first thing I would do, is arm myself up. And I understand where she's coming from when she says she hated guns at one point. Even though I grew up around guns all my life, shot them even in my single digits, it was just something after Emmanuel died that I gave up guns too. I hated them with a passion. And then I started getting angry and realizing, you know what? My son was a victim. The predator, who has already got a rap sheet a mile long, should have never had his hands on a gun or even knew how to get a gun, number one. And number two, you know, being on the outside and looking in at how dangerous life is and society is right now, women and men, we all need to get ourselves licensed. If you wanted training, and never ever, you know, be a victim, even if it's quick decision. So bring it back on, Dave. Unmute your microphone. Your microphone is that you? Can you unmute it? Okay, thank you, Dave.
There we go. I got you.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Thanks.
So you got your gun, and with your younger two, the 8-year-old and the 13-year-old, how do they feel about you being a warrior now?
Oh, you know, my kids they tell me all the time that they're so proud of me and the work that I'm doing and the people that I'm helping. Like I went recently, I was asked to go up to the state of Connecticut and share my story with all the prison wardens from every prison in Connecticut and help them. And part of my sharing my story is also sharing the different things and letting them ask me questions and how the system has affected me. And it's called restorative justice. So I went up there and I helped do this restorative justice training in the prison wardens. And they asked me to come back a couple weeks later and help train all of their deputies.
Wow.
You know, so, and then I was asked to come to Massachusetts and actually go into the prison and meet with inmates that were going through the program. And I'll be honest with you, Lucretia, that was like life-changing for me. I sat in a room with about 14 inmates who were serving life sentence or serving time for murder. And all of these men had to go through, you know, it was like a year-long process, and meeting with me was the final thing for them. And it really hit a lot of them. And a lot of them were really struck, because what so many people don't realize is when a crime happens, it's not just the victim that is hurt, the whole family. Like, you know, I could tell you, like, I have people in my family that struggle still severely because of what happened to me, the PTSD that they suffer. Like, my sister was the first person to see me in the hospital when she walked in, and she literally passed out and lost control of her bowel. I mean, it was awful for her, You know, I mean, and then your community. I worked in a hospital. I was going to school to go to be a doctor, and I worked in the operating room. And every one of the surgeons and nurses that I worked with, they were all there when I was in surgery for like 11 hours. You know, it was just, it affects your community, your family, just everyone, you know. And so, but then when I went through this when I went and met with the inmates, I also realized that not only am I and my family impacted, but the inmate's family is impacted severely. You know, they have wives, they have children, and not that it makes me feel sorry for them, but I feel for their families, you know, and it's awful that these things happen. And one of the things, you know, a lot of times we see is hurt people. That doesn't make it okay. It doesn't excuse it. When these bad things happen, you can forgive someone without forgetting what they did, right? And you still want to hold them accountable, and that's important. We have to remember that, you know. And and people that go and commit these crimes, and I didn't know that about your son. I'm so sorry. I cannot even imagine. I cannot even fathom.
But that's what makes
and
us
then to see
a
you as
lot
a warrior
stronger.
like you are right now.
It makes us stronger. You go through so much stuff that it's like, okay, what else are you going to throw at us in this lifetime? So we have to, it just teaches us to be strong. It teaches strong. It does not mean that we didn't go through depression. It don't mean that we don't cry and have memories or our own PTSD. But after a time, you know, you snap out of it. You become angry, very angry for a while. And then you put it in perspective and it just make you a warrior. So other people realize, just like you go out there and you talk to other victims that you're turning into warriors, that other people have went through this too. And it's okay to talk about it. And it's okay to remember them. And it's okay to talk about how he was murdered because it was wrong. And for the laws need to be a lot restricter. But I also understand you cannot regulate evil, because evil is just going to be evil. Just like you have to go through some stuff until you recognize that everybody don't have your heart. Is she still on there? Hello? Ah, there she went again. Will you let her get to her daughter band recital? And she popped back in. I'm good with that. But yeah, that's the band recital talking about if you 15 minutes early, you still late. She's coming back. I am loving this. I'm still here.
I'm bringing her in now.
Bring her back on in. Anytime you see her pop on, pop back in. So it doesn't show us as being weak. When we go up there, it gives us a little bit more of a passion of doing what we're doing. And now it allows us to help and teach other people, regardless if it's a man or a woman, how to actually protect themselves and about their rights. And then it allows you to get in front of lawmakers that you can start getting laws changed. It allows you to go into the prison system to talk to people. And then it also allow you to have a perspective with someone that has been through it. And even though they don't want to talk about it out in the open, they'll come and talk to you because they know they can talk to you.
Right. You know, and I was going to tell you this too. Girl, when you want to go to Congress, let's go. I'm right there holding your hand. But I'm actually running for city council in Richmond Hill, Georgia this year. And
okay.
I'm taking every step I can so I can make a difference. Okay, girl.
It says Effington County. Effington County is like in the middle of Georgia,
Richmond,
right?
It's right outside Savannah.
So, and you're running for city council?
No, I'm in Bryan County, right near the coast.
Okay, then. What made you want to run for
ma'am.
city council when you already an advocate out here and traveling so much?
I was approached by some people in the community, and they asked me if it was something that I had thought about doing, and I said, you know, if I was, how did I say it? I said, you know, if I was asked because you guys thought that I would be the right person for this position, I'm 100% in, because I lived in McDonough, Georgia, before McDonough blew up.
Yes.
And became the worst traffic in metro Atlanta, right? I lived in Pooler, Georgia, before Pooler blew up. And it is now like you can't drive anywhere there. It takes you 30 minutes just to get 1 mile. Same thing in McDonough. And Bryan County, where I live, is the fastest growing county in the state of Georgia, the sixth fastest in the country. And we just got that Hyundai plant here. So the mega plant right here in Bryan County. And we're growing a lot, fast, very fast. And so when I moved here, we moved down here from McDonough 3 years ago, and I said, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get involved immediately. I don't want this place to turn into what all these other places. You know, we're going to have growth, which we need. It's going to happen. People are moving here. It's a lovely place. The schools are amazing. We have some of the best schools. The schools are fantastic, and it's a beautiful community. But let's do it the right way. Let's plan this out the right way. Let's do a 30-year plan, not a 20-year. You know, we gotta look ahead. So, and I'm one of those. I'll reach across the aisle. I'll ask in other counties, hey, what didn't work for you? How can we make it work here? You know, and I'm one of those that will even go over to. This is a nonpartisan race, but I am a conservative. But I have reached my hand across the aisle to the Democrats many times and said, hey, well, let's have a conversation. What do you think? You know, and come to our meeting. Let's go, you know, we got this event, come to it. You know, like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about things, right? We're all the same people. And if we converse, I think we'll find we have a lot more in common than we don't.
Do they show up?
That's where I stand.
Do they show up and talk to you? Do the Democrats?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, sometimes they do.
So maybe they see.
Yeah, I mean they do
change.
Absolutely sometimes, but not. But you know, this county is kind of interesting. It's the only county in the state of Georgia where every elected official is a Republican.
Well, you know, Candace Taylor and them down there, Claude and all of them, she's running for Congress, and I think she's running for Congress in your district.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all need to team up.
Yeah, I was just the third vice chair for the first district. When I didn't run again this time because I'm running for city council, so I'm not. Yeah, I was the third vice chair for the first district.
How many people are you going to be at the convention in June?
I am actually not going because I have things and I can't go. But I have been the last 3 years, or the last three conventions I've been to them.
So you're just you said I don't even want to deal with the fireworks of this convention?
No, getting requested to be like to go just because I'm running for city council, so I can't really hold I'm trying to keep it neutral. I can't really have a lot of position and things, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
But no, and there was other people that have never been and wanted an opportunity to go. So, yeah, I did get to go to the inauguration this past for Trump.
Wait a minute, it was cold up there, and you still went?
It was freezing. I was freezing my butt off.
No
it was
way.
Nice. It was really good. It was a great event.
Did you now that you're traveling in the United States and you are advocate for a lot of people that don't have a voice, you feel like that you want to start testifying more, like at the state capitol, to get the word out there to expand your advocacy around the state of Georgia?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Heck, I'll go all the way to the U.S. Capitol.
Well, I don't know. You got to sit in front of AOC and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. You ready for that? Oh, I'm going to introduce her to women to gun rights.
I'm ready for any of it because you know what? I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am the person that I am, and whenever I was approached to run, I said, let me go ahead and just be upfront and honest with you. I've been through a lot of crap. And I'm not a perfect person. My kids know this about me. I'm an alcoholic, sober 10 years, because I went through some things. I couldn't sleep at night, so I would drink wine to help me sleep, and then it just became an issue. And anyway, but that you can't blame. I can't blame any of the things that happened to me on my alcohol. Like those are choices that I made. But I own it, and I've put it out there. I've always put it out there because I don't ever want anybody to try and come and say.
Yeah, everybody. Well, she only she only had 2 minutes left anyway, so I didn't. Okay then. She comes back. We'll just let her know we got 2 minutes left. It's still this right here. Hi. We're gonna. You have. Yeah.
No, we only got a second left.
Yeah. You got 2 minutes left. So
So
go
anyway, I
ahead.
was
Yes.
just gonna say, you know what? I am who I am. I'm not fake. You get the exact same person when I'm at home that I am at work. So, and anybody will tell you that I'm a lot. Some people say I'm a whole lot because I'm a very bubbly, happy, loud person. But you know, I've been through a lot. I've lived through 2 comas and just you name it, over 17 surgeries. I live every day like I might not have tomorrow. So nothing anybody can say to me is going to crush me. I got God first in and then my family, and I have friends that I know are loyal to me, and that's all that matters. But yeah, I want to advocate. I want to be a voice for as many people as I can, and do the most that I can to help others. But I really want to lift others up and let them see that whatever you're going through, it's not the end. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up. Keep fighting, and we're here to help you.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna let you end the show. In this segment, tell everybody where they can find you. If you have a website, if they can donate to your campaign, even if it's just a little bit. And you get on in there to that band recital before you be late. So go ahead.
Yes. Well, you know what? So I haven't actually put my official thing out. I guess it's out there now. So as soon as I do, I'll have it. But you can find me on Facebook under Belgicia Howell Cowart. I'm also on Instagram. I'm in the process of creating my page for running for city council. So once I do, you'll see it on there. But yeah, anybody that wants to come and talk to me and work with me and help me, please come and we need to get together, you and I.
Yes,
I come to Atlanta all the time, so we need to get together.
I would love that, and I also would love to introduce you to the Women for Gun Rights also. So you get on in there, and I want to say thank you so much. Don't even worry about it. We're still putting the video out there with your face and everything. And David's going to write an article up too on you. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, being with your daughter. Now get on in there and give her a hug, and you have a blessed one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate you so much. Bye.
All right, everybody. I just had a hot flash. I'm going to wipe my forehead off, and we'll be right back.
Ready
Y'all
to
stay
unlock
tuned.
the
Go
most
ahead, Dave.
extraordinary savings membership ever? Members are saving over $5,000 a year, and now you can too. With over 2 million ways to save, this app is your personal savings concierge, covering travel, entertainment, shopping, dining, and more. Let's get started. Grab your mobile device, click the link, and sign up using your registration code. Heads up, it's case sensitive. Prefer a bigger screen? You can also sign in on your computer. Click submit, then install. Your membership is live. Now, let's navigate your savings. From the home screen, tap Get Your Tickets. This is where the fun begins. You've unlocked deals on theme parks, cruises, concerts, and more. Over 80,000 events and over 1 million tickets at the best prices. Concert tickets? Get tickets to the hottest shows, plus up to 65% off service fees. Baseball? Big savings. Broadway shows? Even bigger discounts. Movie night? Absolutely. Thrill rides? We've got you. Next, tap Travel on the menu bar. Let's plan a trip to New York City. Enter your dates, instant hotel savings. We beat competitors hands down with 0 hidden fees. Choose from 850,000 plus hotels worldwide, plus flights and car rentals. You're traveling smarter now. Feeling hungry? Tap Eat. Find offers at local favorites and top national brands. Looking for fun? Tap Play. Endless possibilities. Shopping spree? Tap Shop. Save online and in store, even on Costco and Sam's Club memberships. Don't miss